Hello and welcome to 1969 Baseball. The Cubs, winners of 4 straight, are here to take on the Reds at Wrigley Field today in the second game of this 3-game weekend series. The Cubs won yesterday's game. It was a barn burner, 10-9 in 10 innings. And now, against the Reds today, the Cubs are going to send Bill Hands out to the mound. Hands is making start number 13. He's got a 5-3 record with a 2.91 ERA and a 1.28 WHIP. The Cubs lineup will include Gosger, Beckert, Williams, Santo, Blomberg, Hundley, Kessinger, Banks, and Hands batting ninth. For the Reds, Jim Maloney is going to be on the mound. He is making start number 12 with a 5-4 record, 3.79 ERA, and a 1.33 WHIP. The Reds lineup will include Tolan, Rose, Carbo, Perez, Bench, Jones, Concepcion, Helms, and the pitcher Maloney batting ninth. It is 80 degrees today, the warmest day we've had so far in Chicago this year, and the wind is blowing out to center at 9 mph. And if yesterday was any indication, it seems to me like that we are in for a lot of runs to be scored again today. So as the Cubs come out to take the field, Hands is on the mound, and he is making his warm-up pitches. Bill Hands on the mound for the Cubs is facing off against Bobby Tolan, who is leading off for the Reds. The Reds are coming into today's game third place in the West with a 27-24 record, facing off with the Cubs, who are third place in the East with a 29-25 record. Cubs trying to extend a 4-game winning streak here. Hands on the mound with a full count, delivering the pitch to Tolan. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. The sinker records the first out of the ball game. And now Hands is going to face Pete Rose with 1 out and nobody on base. Hands looking to deliver the 1-strike pitch. And Rose hits it on the ground towards second. Field in short right field and sent over to first for the second out of the inning. Next up for the Reds is going to be Bernie Carbo. Hands is working with 2 outs and nobody on. Hands delivering the pitch with 2-2 count, and it's popped up in foul territory. Ernie Banks over in front of the dugout makes the catch to end the inning. So the Reds do not score. They're retired in order. We go to the bottom of the first of a 0-0 ball game. Maloney facing Gosger here in the bottom of the first inning to lead off for the Cubs. Maloney working with a 2-2 count. And here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Gosger swings and misses at the curveball. That is out number 1. Brings up Glenn Beckert. With a 2-0 count, Beckert waiting for the pitch. There's a grounder to short. Picked up and thrown over to first. That's going to be out number 2. Billy Williams now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Maloney working with a 1-ball count. The pitch to Williams is a grounder over to third. The throw goes to first, and that will end the inning. So the Cubs retired in order. We go to the top of the second of a 0-0 ball game. Hands now facing Tony Perez here in the top of the second inning. Perez with 17 home runs on the season, waiting for the 2-2 pitch. Hands delivers, and a pop-up to center. Gosger chasing. He's going to call off Williams and put it away for out number 1. Johnny Bench now the batter with 1 out, nobody on. Here's the first pitch to Johnny Bench. And a liner into center field. Going back this time is Gosger toward the wall. He makes the running catch with his back to the infield for out number 2. Clarence Jones now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. A 1-1 count. Here comes the pitch to Jones and a liner into right field. This is going to be played on a hop. Blomberg gets it quickly back into the infield and stops him at a single. So Jones on first and Concepcion is the next batter. 2 outs, 1 man on. 1-strike count, Hands delivering the pitch. Grounder to short, Kessinger has it. He throws to second to get the lead runner, which ends the inning on a fielder's choice. The Reds stranding a runner, they do not score. We go to the bottom of the second of a 0-0 ball game. Santo leading off against Maloney here in the bottom of the second. First pitch to Ron Santo. There's a grounder up the middle. The shortstop dives and makes a great play, but he throws it away over at first. So Santo is going to be safe at second on an error. And now the Cubs have a runner in scoring position. Ron Blomberg is the next batter. Bottom of the second inning, Maloney working with a 1-ball count. Here comes the pitch. popped up to right, coming in fast as the right fielder Rose. He makes the catch for out number 1. Santo cannot tag up in advance, so Hundley now the batter. 1 out, 1 man on. 1 ball count. Hundley, and that one gets away. He checked his swing, and Santo heads down to third. So with a 2-0 count, now Hundley just needs to get this out of the infield to potentially drive in this run. Maloney facing Hundley with a full count, and there's a grounder to third. The throw is going to go over to first as the Reds concede the run, and now the Cubs have a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. Don Kessinger, the batter, facing Maloney with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's a 3-1 count. Kessinger lining it into right field. That'll come in for a single with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. And now Ernie Banks is the batter. 2 outs, 1 man on. 3-0 count. Banks taking inside for ball 4. That is going to be a walk, which will put runners on first and second with 2 outs. Next up, the pitcher, Bill Hands, with 2 outs, 2 men on. Cubs already up by 1. Here's a 1-2 count, and Hands is going to swing and miss for strike 3. So that was a fastball at 91, just burned it right by him. And now we go to the top of the third with the Cubs ahead 1-0. Tommy Helm's going to lead off for the Reds here in the top of the third inning. Hands with the first pitch. Liner into center field, that'll be a base hit. Hands giving up the leadoff single here in the top of the third inning, and it brings up the pitcher Maloney. A likely sacrifice situation right here. As Hands looks to deliver the first pitch, the bunt is laid down the first base line. Banks has it, he throws it over to first. He could have just about tagged the runner instead of throwing the ball. So that's going to be the first out of the inning. The runner Helms advances to second. Now Tolan is the batter. 1 out, 1 man on. Here's the pitch to Tolan, a pop up to right. Blomberg coming in. He has a line on it, makes the catch for out number 2. The throw goes to third, the slide, and he is going to be safe. So Helms tags up and advances on the fly ball, and that gives the Reds a runner on third with 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. Pete Rose now the batter. Hands working. 2-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. And there's a grounder to third. Santo has it. He throws over to first, which will end the inning. So the force out prevents the run from scoring. We go to the bottom of the third. Cubs still up 1-0. Gosger facing Maloney here in the bottom of the third inning. Here comes the first pitch, and there's a liner into center field. However, a diving play by Tolan is going to record the first out of the inning. Really good defensive play out there by Bobby Tolan in center field, robbing Gosger of a base hit. Glenn Beckert now the batter with 1 out, nobody on. Beckert waiting for the first pitch from Maloney, and a pop-up to left. This one is going to be a lot easier play. Oh, and the left fielder drops it. Carbo can't hold on to it. That's an error. Second error of the game for the Reds, and Beckert is safe on first. So Billy Williams now the batter. The Cubs were able to capitalize on the last error. Let's see what happens here. Maloney facing Williams with a 2-2 count. And there's a liner into center field for another base hit. So rounding second, heading for third is Beckert. He's going to get there safely. And he goes first to third on the Williams single. So now Santo comes up with 1 out and runners on the corners. Maloney working to Santo with a 1-1 count. And he's going to line that one past the shortstop into left field. That's going to drive in another run. Santo with the RBI single, giving the Cubs a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the third inning. That is RBI number 32 on the season for Ron Santo, and it brings up Ron Blomberg. With 1 out, runners on first and second. Blomberg waiting for the 2-0-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Blomberg strikes out swinging for the second out of the inning. Randy Hundley now the batter. He had an RBI his first time up. Facing off with Maloney with 2 outs, 2 men on. Cubs up by 2. Here's a 2-2 count and the pitch. And a grounder towards short. The throw goes to second as they retire Santo to end the inning. So we go now to the top of the fourth. The Cubs are up by 2. Hands will face Carbo here in the top of the fourth inning with a 2-2 count. Bill Hands delivering the pitch. And there's a liner past the first baseman into right field. That's going to be a single. Leading off the inning for the Reds, Carbo is going to be on first. And now Perez the batter. With nobody out, 1 man on. Here's a full count to Tony Perez. And there's a liner into center field. That's going to be another base hit. Gosger plays it on a hop. He throws it to third quickly to prevent the runners from continuing to advance. So now the Reds have got something going here. With first and second, nobody out, Johnny Bench is the next batter here in the top of the fourth inning. Hands has got to try to squelch the rally here in the fourth. Here's a full count and the pitch to Bench, and that's a swing and a miss for strike three. That was a sinker, and that is strikeout number 2 of the day for Bill Hands. Clarence Jones now the batter. 1 out, 2 men on. Top of the fourth inning. Here's a 3-1 count and the pitch, and that is outside for ball 4. So Jones takes the walk, which brings up Dave Concepcion. With 1 out and the bases loaded, Cubs up by 2. Hands working with a full count, and that is inside for ball 4. That is going to walk in the run. So now the Reds have cut the lead in half. It is 2-1. And we are going to warm up a reliever, which in this case, gosh, it's going to have to be, I guess it's going to have to be Don Eddy. So with 1 out and the bases loaded, Hands working, he just walked in a run. He really needs a double play to get out of this inning. Here's a 1-strike count and the pitch. And there's a pop-up to short center field. Coming in is Gosger. He makes the catch. The throw goes to the cutoff man. That was not nearly deep enough to drive in the run. So now with 2 outs and the bases loaded, Hands will get to face the opposing pitcher Maloney in the top of the fourth inning. Hopefully he can get out of this jam. Here is the first pitch to Maloney, and a pop-up to center. Again, Gosger coming in on the run. He looks up and makes the catch, and that is the it. So the Reds do score a run. However, they leave the bases loaded, and the Cubs escape with a 1-run lead. Bottom of the fourth inning now. Don Kessinger leading off for the Cubs. Maloney working with a 2-2 count. Here comes the pitch. Grounder over to second. The throw goes to first, and that is out number 1. Ernie Banks now the batter with 1 out, nobody on. Here's a full count pitch to Ernie Banks, and a grounder to first. Jones is basically standing on the base when he fields it. He steps over 1 step to his left and makes the play to retire Banks. And now Hands the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Here is the first pitch to Bill Hands. And he's going to line that one into right. However, coming in is Rose. He'll make the catch to end the inning. So the Cubs go down in order. We go to the top of the 5th of a 2-1 Chicago lead. Hands now going to work to Tolan in the top of the Reds lineup in the top of the 5th inning. 1-1 is the count. Hands delivering the pitch, and there's a pop-up on the left side. Kessinger going over. He calls off Banks and makes the play for out number 1. Rose now the batter with 1 out, nobody on. First pitch to Pete Rose, and that's a liner over the third baseman's head down the left field line. Billy Williams going to play it on a hop. That'll be a 1-out single for Pete Rose. And now Bernie Carbo the batter, and we are in fact going to warm up a righty reliever this time. It's actually going to be Diego Segui. So, Hands facing Carbo with 1 out, the tying run on first. Here's a 2-2 count and the pitch, and that is a grounder to second. The throw goes to first as they do not try to throw to second to complete the double play. So now there are 2 outs, and the runner on second, Tony Perez, is the batter. And quite honestly, Tony Perez just needs to be intentionally walked right here. There is no good reason to pitch to him in this situation. We're going to put him on first and pitch to Johnny Bench instead, which seems ridiculous, except that Perez is leading the National League in home runs with 17. So Hands is going to face Bench, who's 0 for 2 today, with 2 outs, 2 men on in the top of the 5th inning. Here's a 1-strike count and the pitch to Bench, and he hits him. He hits him with the pitch, and that's going to load the bases here in the top of the 5th inning. And now Clarence Jones is the batter with 2 outs and the bases loaded. He's got to get Jones out to get out of the inning. Here's a 1-2 count, and there's a drive to right field. Going back is Blomberg. That is going to leave the park. So a grand slam home run gives the Reds a 5-2 lead here in the top of the 5th inning. And now Hands is facing Concepcion in the top of the 5th with a 1-ball count and 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. There's a grounder to short, and Kessinger kicks it. He can't field it. So that's going to be an error. And now Concepcion is safe on first. It brings up Tommy Helms with 2 outs and 1 man on. It would be really nice if Hands could figure out how to get out of this inning. 1-1 count. Here is the pitch, and there's a grounder to third. Santo has this one. He throws to first, and that will, in fact, end the inning. However, 4-run score on the grand slam home run. That's the second straight day the Reds have hit a grand slam. They take a 5-2 lead into the bottom of the 5th inning. And now Jim Maloney is going to face Jim Gosger here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Cubs, for their part, are going to warm up the lefty Meyer to throw in the 6th inning. So Maloney facing Gosger with nobody out, nobody on. Classic leadoff situation. 1 ball count, Gosger waiting for the pitch. And there's a grounder toward third. The throw goes over to first, and that is out number 1. Beckert now the batter, 1 out, nobody on. Maloney working to Beckert, first pitch. And there's a grounder to short. Picked up and thrown over to first, that'll be out number 2. Next up, Billy Williams, 2 outs, nobody on. 3-1 is the count, Williams waiting. There's a drive into center field, however, chasing it down is Tolan. He makes the catch to end the inning. So the Cubs go down in order. The score is still 5-2 in favor of the Reds. And now, in the top of the 6th inning, the Cubs are going to bring in a reliever. It is going to be Bob Meyer. Meyer has thrown 5 1/3 innings, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and a 5.06 ERA. He is going to face the pitcher and then the top of the Reds lineup in the top of the 6th inning. Meyer working with a full count. Here is the pitch, and Maloney pops it up to right. Blomberg chasing. He looks up and puts it away for out number 1. Next up, Bobby Tolan. 1 out, nobody on. 0-2 count. Here's the pitch, and he is hit. Man, hit him with an 0-2 slider. That's just tough. And now Rose is the batter with Tolan on first. There's going to be a throw over to first. He dives back safely. So now Meyer facing Rose. Here comes the pitch. The runner goes. The throw down to second, and he is going to be out. So Hundley throws out his 12th base run of the season. That's the 2nd out of the inning. And Rose now batting with 2 outs and nobody on. Meyer working with a 1 ball count. There's a grounder over to first. Banks has it. He steps on the base and ends the inning. So the Reds are retired in the top of the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th now with Cincinnati still up 5-2. Santo is going to lead off for the Cubs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. With a 1-2 count, Maloney delivering the pitch. There's a check swing for strike 3, and Santo goes down for the first out of the inning. That is strikeout number 4 on the day for Jim Maloney. Next up, Ron Blomberg. With 1 out, nobody on. Blomberg facing Maloney with a 1 ball count. And a grounder over to second. The throw goes to first, and that is out number 2. Randy Hundley, the next batter. 2 outs, and nobody is on. Here comes the pitch to Randy Hundley. There's a pop-up on foul territory, first base side. Chasing is Jones. He makes the catch, which ends the inning. So the Cubs go down in order. We go to the top of the 7th of a 5-2 ball game. And now we are going to warm up Diego Segui. We're going to visit the mound and talk to Meyer. He says, I feel good. Meyer is going to face Bernie Carbo to lead off for the Reds in the top of the 7th inning. 2-2 count. Here is the pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So that's the first out of the inning. Meyer with his first strikeout of this game, and Diego Segui is ready to come in. He's going to face Tony Perez, and we're going to actually do, well, you know what? We're just going to bring Segui in. So Segui is going to face Perez with 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 7th inning. Full count, Diego Segui with a 3.18 ERA and 29 strikeouts, and he issues the walk. That's ball 4 inside. So Perez heads down to first. Johnny Bench is the next batter. 1 out, 1 man on. Here's a 1-2 count. Segui looking to deliver the pitch, and there's a liner into center field. That's a base hit. The throw goes over to third, and the runner is trying to advance, but he's going to be out easily at third. So Gosger, with a rifle for an arm out in center field, throws out Perez trying to advance from first to third. So now there are 2 outs and the runner on first, and Clarence Jones is the batter. Segui working, first pitch. The runner goes. Hundley's throw down to second, and he throws out his second base runner this inning. The Reds base running accounted for all 3 outs in this inning. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. It is time to stretch at Chicago. The Reds are up 5-2. Don Kessinger is going to lead off for the Cubs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Full count. Kessinger waiting for the pitch. There's a grounder over to first. I think he just swung at ball 4, but that's going to be a ground out as Jones takes it unassisted for the first out of the inning. We need to warm up a reliever. In this case, it is going to be Don Eddy. Well, Don Eddy? Yeah, we need to save Eddy. Well, gosh, I guess I don't know who we need to save, but we're down by 3. So Maloney is going to face Banks here with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Full count. Here's the pitch to Banks. That is a grounder up the middle. The shortstop has it. He throws to first. Banks is pretty slow. He's thrown out on that slow roller. And Maloney has to come out of the game. Apparently he has back pain. And he has to come out of the ball game. This is the best thing that's happened to the Cubs so far in this game. And now Clay Carroll is the pitcher. Segui is going to... I'm going to let Segui bat for himself. Segui is going to face Carroll here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 strike count, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. And Segui swings and misses for strike 3. So that will end the inning. We go to the top of the 8th of a 5-2 ball game. And now Clarence Jones is going to face Segui here in the top of the 8th. Segui is going to be asked to throw another inning of relief here in the top of the 8th. Segui working with a full count. Here comes the pitch to Jones, and that is ball 4 low. So the walk is issued, and that brings up Concepcion. With nobody out, the runner on first. Here's a full count to Concepcion, and here's the pitch. Outside for ball 4. Well, that's just worked out fantastic. So now Tommy Helms is the batter, and Don Eddy is ready to come. We're just going to bring him in. Segui has apparently completely lost all concept of the strike zone here. So Eddy is going to come in, and he is going to face Tommy Helms with nobody out, runners on first and second in the top of the 8th inning. Here comes the pitch and there's a grounder to short. The throw goes to second. There's no relay to first, however, as Beckert is upended by Concepcion, and that is the first out of the inning. And now the righty, Alex Johnson, is going to be the pinch hitter. He has a .328 batting average and 1 home run so far this season. He is pinch hitting for the pitcher's spot here in the top of the 8th inning. With 1 out, runners on the corners. Eddy is going to work with a 1 strike count. Here's the pitch. Popped up to left. This is going to be deep enough to drive in the run. Williams makes the catch. He throws home. The throw comes home, and the runner is safe by about a step. So the Reds score another run. This is now a 6-2 Cincinnati lead in the top of the 8th inning. With 2 outs now and a runner on first, Eddy is going to face Bobby Tolan. Here's a 2 strike count, and there's the pitch. A grounder over to first. Picking it up and stepping on the base is Banks. That is going to retire the side. So we go to the bottom of the 8th now of a 6-2 ball game. And Jim Gosger is going to lead off against the Reds lefty Bill Short here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Short has thrown 15 2/3 innings, walked 6, struck out 11, and has an ERA of 2.30. So Short facing Gosger with a 2-1 count. Here comes the pitch to Gosger. And he's going to ground that one to short. Picked up and thrown over to first. That is out number 1. Glenn Beckert, now the batter. 1 out, nobody on. Short working with a 1-1 count. And Beckert lines that one into right. That is going to drop in for a base hit. Glenn Beckert with a 1-out single here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And now Billy Williams, the batter. 1 out, 1 man on. Cubs trying to get something going here in the bottom of the 8th. There's a 1-ball count and the pitch to Williams. And there's a liner down the left field line. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Extra bases for Billy Williams. He's heading for second. Beckert's going to be sent home. The throw comes home and the slide, and Beckert is safe. So Billy Williams with the 1-out RBI double here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and that makes this a 6-3 Reds lead. Ron Santo now the batter. With 1 out, 1 man on. Santo facing Short with a full count. Here's the pitch, way inside for ball 4. So Santo draws the walk, and that'll bring up Blomberg. With 1 out, runners on first and second. Blomberg facing short here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Blomberg is going to, do we pinch hit for Blomberg? No. If Blomberg gets on, we'll pinch hit for Hundley. That's what we'll do. So, short facing Blomberg with an 0-2 count. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Blomberg strikes out swinging, and that'll bring up Randy Hundley. So Hundley, who is 0 for 3 today with an RBI, is going to face short with 2 outs, 2 men on. We're gonna let him bet for himself here. Hundley's gonna face short. Bottom of the 8th inning. Down by 3. Here's a 3-1 count, and that is way outside for ball 4. So that loads the bases for Don Kessinger. With 2 outs and the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th inning, we are gonna have to warm up another reliever. Because if we get down to the pitcher's spot, we're definitely going to want to have somebody warmed up. Who is it going to be today? Well, it's going to have to be Brewer. All right. So the Cubs sending Don Kessinger up to the plate with 2 outs and the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and this is where the substitution is going to happen because we need to get Wes Parker into this ball game. Parker is going to pinch hit. He is going to be asked to face short here in the bottom of the 8th inning with the tying run on base. The Cubs down by 3. Here's a 1-ball count and the pitch to Parker, and he lines that one into center field, going over and making the sliding catch as the center fielder Toland to end the inning. Man, that looked good coming off the bat. However, the Cubs do get a run. We go to the top of the 9th of a 6-3 ball game. So Parker is going to stay in the game, and he is going to play first. And Eddie will remain in the game to pitch for the moment, which means that Al Montreal will come into the game and play shortstop. Yes. And lead off the next half inning. So Rose facing Eddie here in the top of the 9th inning. The lefty Eddie working with a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Grounder over to second. Beckert has it. He throws to first. That is the first out of the inning. Bernie Carbo now the batter. And Brewer is ready to come in. But we're going to sit him back down. We're going to let Eddie keep pitching as long as he's effective. So an 0-2 count. Here is the pitch. And a pop-up to short center field. Going back is Montreal. He makes the catch for out number 2. Tony Perez now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's a 2-2 count and the pitch from Eddie. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3 at the split-finger fastball. So we go down to the bottom of the 9th now. It's still a 6-3 Cincinnati lead. And Al Montreal is set to lead off against Bill Short here in the bottom of the 9th. Cubs down by 3. Here's a 1-1 count and the pitch. And there's a pop-up to right. Chasing is Rose. He is going to get there and make the catch for out number 1. The pitcher's spot is now up, and that's going to bring up a pinch hitter, Rick Blatt. Blatt is going to face short with 1 out, nobody on base here in the bottom of the 9th. Cubs down by 3. Here's a 1-2 count and the pitch to Blatt, and he pops that one up into center. That's going to drop into no man's land for a base hit. So Blatt, with the 1 out single, stops at first, which brings up Jim Gosger. 1 out, 1 man on. Gosger facing short here in the bottom of the 9th inning. 1-2 is the count, and there's a liner into center field. That's going to be playable as Toland comes in and makes the catch for out number 2. And now Glenn Beckert is the batter. Cubs down to their final out with 2 outs and the runner on first. Bottom of the 9th inning, Beckert facing short with a 2-2 count. And there's a pop-up to left. I think that's going to do it. The catch is made, and the game is over. Carbo makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Reds are victorious 6-3. The Reds' losing streak is ended as the Cubs' winning streak also comes to a close. The Cubs getting 3 runs on 6 hits with 1 error. The Reds, 6 runs on 7 hits with 2 errors. So the player of the game is Clarence Jones of the Reds. He hit the home run, which gave the grand slam home run that gave the Reds the lead in the 4th inning. So Bill Hand suffers the loss. He went 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and the home run allowed. He drops to 5-4, while Jim Maloney gets the win. He improves to 6-4 with 6 2/3 innings of 3-hit, 2-run baseball, neither of which were earned, 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. So the Cubs dropped to 29-26, while the Reds improved to 28-24. Thank you for watching 1969 Baseball.